All right, I'm gonna work Atlas over some raised poles. So I'm just gonna pull this really light pole out and just set it on my mounting block. And I'm just gonna use the target here to kind of just show him where I want him to go, because he's still a bit nervous with leading in the halter with the rope. So I'm just gonna have him do it at liberty first. So I'm just gonna kind of show him toward the middle, and he's like, oh, that's too much, this is too scary. He doesn't like it when it touches his leg and then makes sounds. So I'm just gonna try and go toward the end where it's not raised too high. And then once he goes over it, I'm gonna click him and then feed him his reward. So he's already gone over the poles on the ground that are not raised, and he was okay with those, and I made sure he's doing that first, and then I'm going to go ahead and use the raised poles. But he was having trouble with having things touch his hind legs, so I thought this would be a good exercise for that too. He was just getting too close here, so I was like, no, we need to back him up here. I'm trying not to get the target stick kind of in the way there and like put pressure on him with it. But I do want him to back out of the way. He was just much too close. I want him to follow, but I figured he was gonna jump forward and be scared, so I didn't want him to do that on top of me, so that wouldn't be fun. So I'm just trying to get in front of him so he can kind of pick his way through, and then if he needs to move faster, he can just run away from me. So that was good. He tried pretty hard there. I probably would have gotten him a better start and like set him up a bit better for it than that, but trying to figure out what works best here. So I'm gonna give him a couple handfuls of treats. So I'm clicking once he picks up his front feet and goes over the pole. Right now, like, he's worried enough that he crosses all the way. If your horse is stalling out, you can give them your like keep going cue, or maybe wait till their hind feet go over it and they're kind of straddling the pole before you click. But he kind of goes right on through, and I really want him to know that the motion of going up and picking his feet up over the pole is what I want. So crossing it is what I'm rewarding, so that's important too. You might have to mix up your clicks too, depending on your horse, so they know crossing over it is what you want. So I'm trying to set him up here so he can go over the middle or like the lower side of the pole first, but also not be too close to me that he wants to run me over. So I'm just trying to show him, like, I want him to go toward the end of the stick. And really, I probably should have used a longer target stick than this, but I'm showing him, no, come over here. We're gonna go this way. And he's just worried about the whole situation. So I'm just trying to get him to back off here. I'm just gonna scoot you over and then reposition him, because I'm trying to position myself to the other side of the block here, and he seems to be getting it easier this way, going to the left. Oh, and he's like, it's easier to just go around than go over. There we go. And he kind of does a little jump over it. So he's going over it. He's kind of stuck to this one side, so he doesn't quite get going over it the other direction, which I probably should have started him more with him going on that low side, going the other way, just so he can build up some confidence here. So he's just kind of stuck. So he's like, oh, I go over it this way. This is the way I'm supposed to do it. But at least he's kind of on his own going over the high side. So that's much better though. So that was pretty good effort. I don't love when they get like throw behaviors. I'm not going to reward that forever, but in the beginning, I'm going to leave it. So make sure you're paying attention to it though. See, he's like, no, I can only go the other way. I can't go that way. But make sure that you only do that for so long. I'm letting him throw that behavior out because he's afraid and he's not super confident with it. That was really good. So he tried hard there. So I'm letting him do that, and I'm going to click and reinforce that. But I'm only going to do that in the beginning, because then I want it to be on a cue, and I'm going to work on the stimulus control and just him going over it on cue and waiting for me and stopping and everything when he's told. So, but for now, we'll leave that. And you want to make sure too that you're off to one side. You don't want to be in front of them, because especially with the raised poles, if he like knocks it with one of his hind legs and it scares him and he jumps forward, you don't want him to jump on top of you. So just kind of make sure you have enough room on both sides. And I'm saying, no, we're going to go this way. So instead of kind of pushing him, I want to bring the stick closer so he can kind of see it, and then, okay, like I'm supposed to follow it, versus like putting pressure on him because he's already worried. But I should have backed up here and let him just go over the lower side. And right now he's just a little stuck. So what I said before, where I'm like, okay, I just want him I'll reward him for offering behaviors in the beginning. Like now he's just getting a little stuck, so I'm just going to not reward that behavior because I'm asking for a separate one. So if I was continuing asking him to go over, like to the left if you're going on a circle, then I'd leave that. But now I'm specifically asking him to go on a right-hand circle over it. So I'm going to stop rewarding that behavior. So if he offers me a left-hand circle, I'm not going to reward it because I'm specifically saying, no, I'd like you to go this way. And he's just like, no, I can only do it this one side. So the context is really important when doing that. So he kind of just had a couple little baby steps. So I recorded those and clicked those, and he's trying here, but he needs to be really moved over. So I probably should have just switched sides. Yep, like I'm doing here. There we go. And kind of had him go at an angle so he can go on that lower side, because now he's just on the higher side and he's just like, I can't do it, it's too hard. So I should just have him go toward the lower side. See, he knows this side. That side he knows. So I'm like, no, that's not what we want. We're going to do that same thing, but we're going to go this way. So I didn't click him for that. There we go. That was very nice. So I'll reward him for that. He just had some confusion there. And once he went over it, like, he was fine. Like, he didn't seem worried at all. So I'll give him a couple handfuls here. I'm showing him, yep, that's exactly what I want. You can go both directions. It's not a big deal. And now he's going right over it. He's pretty easy with that direction. And you can tell his neck's lower. He's more relaxed in his movement. So that looks much better. So now we got to get that same relaxation on this other side, going on that right-hand circle. And I should have waited there before, just to like not leave him before he starts walking, because I want to work on that leading too. But he did cross the pole really well that time. So it's sticking this time. So that's great. Not too bad. But this video is good because it kind of shows you like some of the struggles. We're not doing it perfectly, but it's like good like learning experience. So not too bad for him at all. I had to go get some more food, but I kind of want to show this end part here because he's so worried about the pole. Like, it's good to show like him moving it, I'm moving the pole, and he just kind of get used to things like happening around the barn. So that's a good part of training too.